I wanted to make a very specific video answering a very specific question, and this is actually a topic/question that I've covered in passing on other videos that were related, on live streams where similar topics were brought up, but I never made a dedicated video to the question right now that says, how often should I trim my beard? The answer is not a sexy one. It depends. And there really is no other way to give a real answer than to say it depends. And the main thing that it depends on would be your goals for your beard. And I'll explain what I mean by that, but I do want to introduce myself. My name is Dan C. Bearded. Thank you for checking this video out. I post normal videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern. I've never missed in 5.5 years. I'm also live every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Also have never missed. And I have a bunch of random videos and live streams that pop up at other times, but those are where you guys can find me on a regular basis. If you appreciate any of this content, please hit the thumbs up, the like button down below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing if you like learning about how to take care of your beard. So one big aspect would be trimming your beard. When I say take care of your beard, it is trimming. I do believe at some point, I hope most people at least consider trimming. Nobody has to do anything, but if you want it to be purposeful, if you want to show people that you care about your hygiene, your style, your appearance, I do think a trim can go a long way. I'm a firm believer when it's done correctly, it's addition by subtraction. Your beard can look bigger, more full, more dense once you trim. And I know it sounds crazy. Dan, how can it be bigger if you take stuff away? It just does. It really does. Transparency plays tricks on the mind. It's a pretty amazing thing. With that said, you gotta be able to figure out when you wanna trim. And I'll give you some food for thought, whether you are trimming yourself, which I do recommend. I believe that you can learn. I don't think it's that difficult of a task unless you have something that's holding you back. If you're like, Dan, I can't because my hand is shaky or because of this or that, I totally get it. But if you can, I do think you can learn how to trim your beard. I do think that I would stomach it better if I messed up my own beard trim as compared to someone else, and it's a lot more inexpensive to trim your own. However, there are some amazing barbers out there. You just gotta make sure you find the right one. So whether you're doing it yourself or you're going to a barber, when do you pick up the trimmer, the clippers, the scissors, the shears? It's going to depend on what you want your beard to look like and where you're going with it. For me, it's pretty simple. I like my beard big. I like my beard full. So at the bottom, once I start to experience some significant transparency of about an inch, I know it's time for me to trim. I don't have a calendar where I'm like, ooh, boom, every 5.5 months I am trimming. It just doesn't work that way for me. It ends up working out around 4, 5, 6 months, but I don't sit there and say, this is when I'm gonna trim, that's when I'm gonna trim. It's just something that I usually start to notice where I'll put on a shirt or I'll wear my beard a certain way and I'm like, ooh, okay, it's looking close, but then I'm not sure yet. I wait a couple of days, I wait a week, then I'm like, essentially until I can't stand it anymore, that's when I'm like, it's time to trim. Or the mustache is usually my wife being like, hey, I love your beard, I love your mustache, but we do need to compromise. I don't want a full face of mustache when I'm kissing you, and I get that. So for me, when do I trim or how often do I trim is directly related to the transparency at the bottom. Now that's a big beard, that's a full beard. I don't like transparency. Maybe you don't mind transparency and you're just growing, yours is gonna be less frequent. Now for a lot of you, you're probably between a stubble beard and between where mine is at, you're gonna adjust that. If you wanna maintain a shorter beard that wraps to your face, you're probably gonna be trimming every other week or so. You can probably do it every 3 weeks, some of you can do it every week, but keep in mind, the more frequent you do your trims, the greater chance you have of messing up. When I only trim my beard once every 5, 6 months, I don't have a lot of opportunities to mess it up. If you are trimming your beard 20, 30, 40 times a year, okay, now you have many more variables to take into consideration, but I will say, if you have a beard that wraps to your face and you can use clippers, this is a trimmer, right? Trimmer has like the T-line and it's not using guards, but if you have a clipper that's adjustable that you can add guards to and your beard preferred length is within the guards, that is as easy as it gets. Throw that bad boy on, then all you gotta really worry about is establishing your neckline if you wanna touch that up. But if it's shorter, every other week or so. If it's long, you can go months and months and months without doing that. I really do wish I had an answer. And I love those. I have a lot of videos where it's like a review and I'm like, within the first 30 seconds, I'm like, this is not a good product. I don't recommend it. Let's talk about it. I don't have that kind of like numerical, definite answer today. Figure out what you want your beard to look like and make your trims according to that, right? The shorter it is, the more frequent you trim. The longer it is, the less frequent you trim. That's about all I have there. Beyond that, and this is not a plug, this is genuinely what I would recommend to a friend. We have a show on this channel, Beard Advice Live, every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, where people send in pictures of their beards and they ask us those kind of questions. Hey Dan, hey Sam, my wife is on that show. Hey community, am I ready for a trim? And we give you perspective based on your goals, based on your feedback in real time, and it's free. All you got to do is send an email to beardadvicelive@gmail.com. I'll get back to you and we'll get you on the show, and it makes for a really fun environment where you guys ask questions, you give feedback, you give lots of compliments and support too. It's pretty amazing. But beyond that, there is no right answer. There is no wrong answer. It's just adapting to what suits you guys well. I do want this comment section to really be open. Do you have other thoughts? Is there any other kind of analytical way to break it down? Do any of you schedule your trims? And if you do give details based on your beard, how often you trim or your thoughts on how often to trim, please give any variables that will matter. If you say, hey, I keep a really tight, short beard, that's important. Or I keep a medium beard. We would like to know those things. My beard's really thin, my beard's really thick. Anything that could be relevant, that could be really helpful down in the comments. Cannot wait to read this one, you guys, because like I said, I leave videos like this feeling like, I didn't give them an answer. I didn't give them help, but I do know I gave you the honest truth. And I'm not sitting up here trying to get clicks, right? I could do something like, this is how often you should trim your beard. Boom. But I don't know that answer. Right? It all depends on your beard and your goals. And if you want individual help and you don't want to be on a show, genuinely reach out to me at any time. I will be happy. It would be an honor to get back to you. Dan C. Bearded on Instagram is my favorite, or Dan_command@yahoo.com for email. That's in the description of every video as well. Thank you guys for watching today. Can't wait to read those comments. Dan C. Bearded, please stay bearded, put these away, and stay positive.